Hi, Bernard. Can you hear me? Yeah. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
How are you doing?
Right, I'm fine.
Okay.
Let me try to send the link. See, there are too many meetings, but I think I heard some people saying they are coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's start. Uh, Let me remind them. And let's go to and switch.
Evening, everyone.
Hi,
Good
Dylan.
evening, Elon. Oh, Daniela is there, and Lumes. Oh, there are three people now. Good. Thank you so much. Uh,
Hello, Daniela, Dylan, Lemis. Just correct me if I didn't pronounce your name correctly.
sure. All right. There we go.
Maybe we'll wait for another 2 to 3 minutes and then start. What do you think, Bernard?
Up to you. Uh, we will be patient with you.
Just with cabbage.
Sure.
Uh, I remember Kelly and Danielia, but Lemis and Dylan, feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah, perfect.
While we wait, maybe another 1 or 2 minutes, we'll just have some introductions from Denise and Dylan, right?
Okay.
Awesome.
My name is Dylan Onyeve, and I'm part of Coxygen Global Junior Developer team. I've been with Mr. Bernard since last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Oh, welcome to our group and great to know you.
Kelly, how are you?
Hey, Bernard. Hey, Suganya, I'm doing great.
Hi, Kevin.
Thank you so much. That was a great session last time.
Oh yeah. We had a nice time with Demi and you, right? I hope you solved this issue. Yeah.
From my side, yeah, I also learned a lot, which I went in. Uh,
Mm.
but I realized the journey is longer. Mhm.
Mm. Unfortunately, I'm not sure whether he's managed to solve his issue, but I'll reach out to see where he's currently at, if he's made any progress.
Sure.
Mm.
Thank you. Over to you, Sukanya.
Sure. Hi, Jordan. Welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Jordan. I'm a manager at M Labs. I'm just checking in on this working group. Haven't been to this one yet. Nice to meet everyone.
Nice to meet you too.
Wow.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. You have come to bless our meeting. You are welcome. We need people like you here. Thank you so much. Awesome, Jordan. Awesome. Ah, that's cool. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, maybe I think it's a good time to start. Um, so thank you everyone for joining our group. So I was thinking, since I think 2 weeks back we had a session from Bernard, showing the live coding session under Cuba IDE. I was thinking we could go a little more about the app development, and assuming that we have a mix of developers, I was thinking we could start in a very basic way of explaining things. Let's 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. Yeah, are you able to see my screen, everyone? Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah. Uh, so when we think about a decentralized application, everyone who wishes to be, a developer, we would be thinking about developing the app. So there are a lot of components that is involved, develop the app. When we were looking at the Kuber IDE, on-chain coding, that is one part of it. So there are also other components which put together would give us a complete AG app. So I was thinking that we could go more about an off-chain component this session. So this session is going to be about Lucid Evolution. We do have other off-chain languages, but I just picked Lucid Aviation. It was developed by Anesthesia Labs, which I'm also a part of working there. So I thought it'd be good to, just go over the basics and just brief everyone how and where you can use it. So yeah, under on-chain, you might be aware that we went through the Plinth modules a bit, and there are other languages like Plutarch, Aiken, and Option. Under off-chain as well, you have different languages to choose from. So when I say off-chain, maybe I would it'd be good to give a bit of explanation about it. So the on-chain code is a piece of logic that lives in the blockchain, like it governs how the behavior should be. But you need some set of instructions that connect with it to give the that desired outcome that we are all expecting. So these instructions are called the off-chain code. So when you have to interact with a validator, you write a set of instructions, like you build the transaction of what you're going to give it as input and what your expected outputs are. So the main job of an off-chain code is to connect to the validator, execute the logic, and it is mainly providing the inputs, that is the UTXOs that are going to be consumed by the validator and given the output that we are requiring. So this is why we need an off-chain. 1 second. Yeah, this is why we need an off-chain component. Uh, so considering the different types we have, Mesh is off-chain language, which is also built up with TypeScript. And we have Atlas, that is based on Haskell. It would be a best option for people who are looking to keep their entire decentralized application in Haskell. So when you go with Atlas, it will be purely Haskell. There's a one more called Lucid, which was very very easy to use, and now since it was kind of abandoned, Anastasia Lab took it over and made a few more modifications to it. That is the new version. We have kept it as Lucid Evolution. It is also a TypeScript based language of chain coding language, and then we have PyCardano, which is entirely on Python. You can create, balance, and all the signing transactions can be done in Python. Uh, that project, this Cardano, was mainly to onboard Python developers to the ecosystem. Uh, as we know, there are many developers who are familiar with Python, so it is actually a very good client. If you already are aware of Python, you could definitely start with it. So these are the major options you have, compared to other the old Cardano, off-chain code like the Cardano CLI and the Plutus application backend was the first to be there as an off-chain component. But now we have a lot of other options which you could be, feeling free to choose from. Because the Revolution is definitely a good one to use. So let's look at how how this Lucid Evolution works. So it is a library built using TypeScript. So when I say TypeScript, it is actually a superscript of Java. So you could assume, imagine like you have a JavaScript code and how it will look if it's typed. If the JavaScript code has types, that is where the TypeScript comes in. So it's going to be more type safety, which is what we as Cardano ecosystem want. So it's just a superscript of TypeScript. We have majorly on the TypeScript library. So when you've decided to start a project on Lucid Evolution, the first thing you'll be doing is to install Lucid Evolution. And since it is a TypeScript based language, you will have to install TypeScript as well. Uh, in order to understand, I think these two terms, having an understanding of these two terms will be even more better. So it's the JavaScript runtime engine. This is where our JavaScript code runs. So there are a lot of other, I would say like different categories, not categories, different types that you could take for JavaScript runtime engine. The node, and then the Deno and the bun. The node is the most popular. You would have heard about it. And the next term that you should be aware will be the package managers. So this runtime engine is a different concept, and the package manager is a different concept. So where this package manager is like a tool to manage the libraries that you're using under it. So the initial step would be to install a engine, runtime engine, and then a package manager. So it is definitely a personal choice, but yeah, just knowing the basic difference would be helpful. This NPM is a package manager that is default shipped with Node. Uh, how it works is it has um, I would maybe we could think about like a public repository or a public registry, a centralized public registry. So whenever you download the packages, it will be feeding, fetching those packages from the registry. So you will be having a copy of the packages that you're installing every time from the central registry. Whereas in PNPM, it will be like a symbolic link that it creates. So, give me one.
Sorry, I think you're muted.
Sorry, Suganya, you muted.
Thanks for letting
Yeah,
me know.
thank you.
Okay. So NPM, as I said, it no downloads the packages that we are asking for from a central registry, but rather this PNPM has like a symbolic link. So it's not like a flat structure. Rather, it copies the packages to every every project's node module. So it will be like a symbolic link, and you there is no need of a duplicate package downloading. That is like a major difference, and it's a personal choice to go for. Mm, and then, yeah, before maybe we are going to the session, I think it would be nice to discuss about folder structure, because as developers we write code, we run it, but the organization comes in when we are really looking at a production level code. So SDK is like software development kit. So whenever you are doing some DApp development and you're going to publish your off-chain as a software development kit to the other team, so it will be nice to have a universal folder structure, which is widely okay or accepted to use. So this is how we usually follow. We have a source folder, and then the code components and the endpoints. When I say endpoints, those are the actual functions that you create in the on-chain code. So you have some functions in on-chain code, and you are going to run those functions through the off-chain code. So that is the endpoints. And under core, you could have different folders, like up to the based on the need of your project. But the basic ones are the compile, where you put in the online of on-chain compiled scripts. And in order for the types of the on-chain code and the off-chain code to relate, we would be creating schemas. These are all eye levels. It's just to give a view of better understanding of what we'll be going through. So those datum redeemer types and all those schemas can be kept under the contract types. And then constants is where you have some constant variables or even API keys. And you can, it's not a good idea though, but you can have this folder to have all those constant named variables there. So yeah, so this is the major, I would say, high level layout of how it looks like and how it's going to work. Feel free to stop me if you have any questions.
So
Okay,
far, so good. Very
okay,
logical. Thank you so much.
thank you. Okay. So the basic idea of a transaction builder is any transaction builder that you're using, you'll be instantiating the let's take about Lucid Evolution. You'll be instantiating the Lucid, and then you should have a wallet. So you create a wallet, and then before starting with building a transaction, you'll be selecting that wallet, and the transaction builder is the main area where you have to put in the work based on the on-chain code, and then it has to be signed and submitted. So let me go through, maybe I'll go to the, yeah, this one. Okay, give me one second. Okay. So the first thing you will do is to install Lucid Evolution. It'd be a good idea to share the Lucid Evolution's page. Mm, Okay, I have shared with you. Okay, so the first thing is to install Lucid Evolution. So once you do it, with a package manager. I have used PNPM, and that is the reason you see this PNPM lock YAML file here. These two files. They come as a package. Like whenever you install with some package manager, you'll have the log file and the JSON file. This is like locking all the versions that you have set up for that particular library that you're downloading. And then this ts config is the TypeScript configuration file. Since all our files are going to be in TypeScript, what we can do here is we can create our root folder. Like say, for example, my root folder is this SRC. I mentioned it here, and I'm expecting my module to be the latest version. So these are the configuration files that you could use based on your project. And the output directory, everything will be here. This is where you have to look for when there is a TS related, there is text related errors. So let's go through this file. This is the basic Lucid Evolution first transaction file. So first, what you should be doing is to instantiate the Lucid instance. So here I am using Lucid and I'm passing in the provider. I'm using a block cost, and for every provider, you'll be expected to give a API key and then the network. So once I have this instance, I have to generate a wallet, right? I have to create a wallet. So in order to create a wallet, I can take different paths. Like I can have a private key generated and then an address, or I can even generate a seed phrase and then I can choose a address from that. So here I'm generating a seed phrase. We have all these functions by default in Lucid Evolution. So it's a matter of finding out which is there and what you need. Uh, Most of the basic functions are already there. And then before building a transaction like this, you have to choose the wallet which you're going to use. Like you're choosing a wallet where you have to debit the money from. So that is a major concept. So this step actually selects the wallet from the seed phrase that I have generated, meaning that it's selecting the wallet, and then I'm building a transaction. The syntax is you create a new transaction and you pay to an address. Uh, this pay to address is taking in an address and the value that you're going to send. So you can send to as many addresses as you want, depending on the balance you have. And when you call dot complete, it will balance the transaction. That is, it will take the input UTXOs. It will create these two UTXOs, and the remaining balance will be sent to the selected wallet. So this is where Lucid Evolution balances the transaction and completes the transaction building. So once the transaction is built, you need to sign it, and this signing should happen with a wallet if you have created the wallet with a seed phrase, or you have an option of doing it with private key as well. It basically depends on how you are selecting or creating the wallet. So once you sign the transaction and then you submit, you'll be able to get the transaction hash. So this is how you normally run a off-chain code. Any questions so far? Yes, Kelly.
Thanks for that, Aganya. Just a moment. Yeah, so I've got two questions. So one, I'm trying to set it up, and I think I missed something on the setup that you mentioned. So is it that when I'm setting up, I set it up as a dependency in my project, in my node project, or do I actually need to copy this file directory setup into my my project?
Which file? Sorry.
So like there's this structure that you mentioned about source, then core, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if I'm starting my project, I guess what
Uh-huh.
I'm asking is when I'm starting my project, how do I get Lucid Evolution into my project generally?
Oh, okay. Uh, so, um, maybe we'll 1 minute. Okay. Okay. So you decide on which no which folder you are going to put your project, right? So once you create that folder, you would be using this, and this is like an installation for the whole project that you're building, irrespective of the folder structure we discussed.
Mm, okay.
Does this answer your question?
Okay, so it's just like any other package that the way
Yes.
you had used it in Node. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
The folder structure it's not a mandate. You could definitely create under the root folder, but I was just suggesting, as a when you plan it as a SDK, like when you plan it as a kit, this would be more valuable.
Okay, that makes sense. So the other question is, maybe you'll get to this, but just in case you don't, so if I'm in correct me if I'm wrong, it seems this is in a server setting, not in a browser environment. I cannot connect to something like less from this because is that correct, or does it offer
Correct.
browser environment?
Correct. Yeah, you will be needing a front end for that. It's like an integration that you do. This is as you're right. Yeah, you can't connect your direct wallet here from your ID.
Ah, okay, got it. Thanks. That's all.
Yes, no problem. Sure. Is there any other questions? Okay. Um, so let me continue. Uh, okay. So since we got an idea about this Cuba ID, uh, we will just go through, make use of one on-chain code and try to build an on-chain code for that. So I was seeing this already available code there. We have, yeah, 2 weeks back, I think we minted an NFT, but for example, we are just taking this on-chain validator. The purpose of this validator is, maybe I'll increase my screen size. Is this any good?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
see your screen. It is
okay,
very clear.
okay. Okay, maybe it's not possible to extend this here. Okay, so what this validator is doing is, it is a parameterized script. Meaning, if you see here, every validator has its datum, redeemer, script context. This adds an additional component called the payment puppy hash. So it is parameterized by this component, and then you have unit for datum redeemer, script context, which is a mandate field, and then the return value. So this validator is trying to check if it if you're debiting or if you are unlocking the funds from this validator. It's checking if the transaction is signed by the pub key hash that I have provided. So let's take this as an example. Let's compile this code. Let's take this on-chain code and try to connect with the off-chain coding. So first, let me compile. Yeah, I have a pubkey hash that is already there, which I'll be using to parameterize it. So Okay, okay, I'll copy this JSON here. Uh, uh, right. Okay, so we have this uh, JSON here, and we'll start to do the coding here. So first thing is to instantiate Lucid. Okay, so here I have to pass in the uh, provider first, and then I have to mention where I'll be getting the provider from. I have my notes here. Okay, and then okay, and then I have to pass my um, API key, and then I have to choose the network here. Oh, okay. So it expects a provider and a network. And what is the error? I think this should be with this. Okay. Yeah. So now if you see this lucid, the type of the lucid is promise lucid evolution. With TypeScript, when we it always wraps that with promise. So if we have to take anything out of it, we always use await, which unwraps the promise and gives us the lucid evolution. This is one step that usually is difficult at the start, but it comes in with time. But all other, all promise functions should be unwrapped using await. So now, once we have the Lucid instance, the next is to create a seed phrase. That is, have to create a wallet. I usually have a seed phrase with you know just as a copy, so I don't get confused with different addresses. So because here the noticeable point is many times that gets us into error is every time we generate a seed phrase, we'll be getting a new address every time. So we should be cautious of picking, running the transaction again and again. Instead, see the seed phrase and the address before running the transaction. And the next step is to uh, choose the wallet. So I will be taking it from seed and seed phrase. So now I have the seed phrase. I've chosen the a wallet from the seed phrase, and I can even check the address by giving dot dot address. So we can then and there go. use the console log to check what are the outputs are. Okay, so we can run this and our function is okay, it's just a key hash. Not sure why it's taking so long. Okay, so meanwhile, maybe we could look at the, yeah, we got this. So
Okay, it
if
comes.
you can,
Thanks. Yeah.
yeah, if you can see, this is the address. Like we have created address using the seed phrase and we have console logged it, the address. So now we have the address and our first task would be to, set or send some funds to the validator. So for that, we should be having a validator address, right? So now we have the initial address. So we have to choose in the create the address of the script that we have. So let's create the validator. It's a spending validator. We have to be giving the type of the validator here. And here, and the type is Bluetooth V2. Okay. And here, okay, property scripts is within. I have only given the type. So now I'm going to apply the script to it. But in order to do that, I should be extracting my CBOR from the JSON file that I have. So here I have saved the compiled script from the Cuber IDE which we saw. This is our compiled script here. So I will have to pick this one and use it there. So I will have to import, um, I can name it as maybe script, any name from, and where do I have it? I have it under core, compiled, trial and process. And now I will have to give this because I am using a node module and okay, and I have to extract it from a JSON file. So now the whole compiled script from our on-chain code is under this script name. It's a customized name. We could give anything, but I have to, probably this is confusing. We can keep this as blueprint instead. Yeah. So now I have to call blueprint. And if you see, you will have these three terms that is automatically generated because we have all these parameters in the JSON file. So I am choosing this CBOR hex. And I will be able to get the validator here. But our validator is a parameterized validator. So in Lucid Evolution, we have the option of applying the parameter here as well. For that, I will be using Anonymous to script. Okay, so when I'm applying, my expectation is to apply a pub key hash, right? So I pass in here, but I haven't defined it at all. I know it's parameterized, so I'm just trying to give that as a parameter, but I haven't defined it here. So let me take this and let me define the pubkey hash. I can, 1 second. Hmm, Okay, so let me take this, for example. You could take anything. I will take this and I'm just trying to, okay. Okay, so now we have the validator and we are sure that we have applied the parameters with this pub key hash. Next is I have the validator now, but I have to have a address for it in order to lock the funds. So I will create a validator address using the function validator to address. And for this, I have expected two arguments. The arguments are network and the validator itself. So I am choosing preview and then the validator I have. So now I'll be able to see the validator address. We can check it. Okay. So let's run this and see. Okay, while it takes time, let's start constructing the transaction. So now we have the initial address and then we have the validator address. So our transaction now should be to uh, select the funds or select the wallet and then lock some funds at the validator address. So we have got the validator address here. Of course, it's an enterprise address. We don't have the staking part here, if you notice, because it is a script. And now I will have to create the transaction. So, taking this as a reference, we have to first uh, create a new transaction, and then we are now paying to a contract because it is a validator. So instead of choosing to address like the first example we saw, you're going to pay to a contract. And this contract expects an address and the datum and then the assets. And if there are any reference scripts that we want to attach to the validator, we could do that here as well. So now I'm going to first put the validator address and then datum. We can't leave that null. It's an inline datum nowadays. Okay. And then I'm just giving a value uh, just to give any value. It's 0 n. Okay, so now I have paid to the contract, but I should be adding some value here. So I've added the address, the datum, and then the value here. The value will be lovely. 4 maybe. Okay. So once this is paid, I am attaching my spending validator. And then I call in complete to balance all the transaction. Okay, so now this transaction, if it satisfies all the ADA value, it will be complete. And now we have to sign the transaction. Okay. Transaction. I sign it with wallet because I have chosen one, and then I'm completing the transaction. And finally, I have to submit this transaction. Okay. The reason is this promise. So I have to unwrap it. Only then I will be able to submit. Okay. So we can see the console log if the transaction is submitted. Uh, this is only locking funds at the contract. So let's try to see if this runs well. Hmm. Okay, I made a mistake here. I didn't unwrap it, so it's still waiting, pending to unwrap. Meanwhile, I will create some logs to show. Hmm. Okay, so it says the transaction has been submitted. We have the transaction hash. We could take this transaction hash to the Cardano Explorer and check. And the other option is to check it from here. Mm, we could see the UTXOs right here. What is- Okay, so let me comment this out, or else it will be creating another transaction. Okay, so okay. So these are the UTXOs at the initial address. If you see, there are three UTXOs available, but as per the logic of Lucid Evolution, it uh, selects the UTXOs which has the most ADA. So it would have chosen this UTXO. I am saying this because of the transaction hash we just saw. If you see the recent transaction hash and this one is the same. The reason that the UTXOs at the validator address was not coming is because I didn't do this correctly. It should be validator address and I have to unwrap it with await. So now, okay. So I have other transaction as well. But yeah, this is the transaction hash that we got. And we have the four ADA. And this is the datum because we have inlined the datum in the transaction. So we are able to see that 00 here. So this is how we use the off-chain and the on-chain to create a transaction from our end. Uh, and it would be a good challenge for you guys to take up the same validator and try to unlock the funds from this validator. Because knowing this concept, what we did is only like one part of it. We have just transferred some fund to the validator. So it would be a good option for you to take it up and then see how this works. Just feel free to ask any questions if you have, and also any feedback for this session.
Yes. Do you mind explaining again the UTXO part of it? Can you just scroll up on the code?
Sure. This
Yes,
one?
the UTXO at the validator address and the first one.
Okay. Okay. So this is the UTXOs at the initial address. That is the address we first created. If you see, this is the initial address, and every UTXO in that address has the address it belongs to. Uh, Apart from doing it now, I also have other UTXOs generated previously. So the best way to check would be first to check the address, cross verify with the address, and then the transaction hash. So there might be a confusion when you see there are a lot of UTXOs that we just did one transaction, right? So these are already available UTXOs with different values, but the transaction hash, if you notice, this transaction hash is the same when we submitted the transaction. So you should check for the UTXO which has this transaction hash, meaning in that transaction only that UTXO has generated.
Okay, no, it makes sense now. All right, so it's
Yeah.
like a way to check. Okay, so that means if you do create another transaction now, we're going to find the transaction hash for okay, should I say the initial address? Not the initial, so the new transactional address right now, the one that you created. Like if you scroll down,
Okay.
um, this
Uh,
one, the initial.
until this point, it is with the initial address.
Okay.
This from here, it is the UTXOs at the validator address. That is the script. So if you
Oh,
notice, the transaction hash, that is maybe we'll do it here. If you don't, if you feel it comfortable, maybe we can do it here. So this UTXOs are like a burning pot, right? So you choose so for example, you have UTXO 1 and UTXO 2, okay, and you put it or we don't manually select. When you build a transaction, you write a transaction like how we did, no? This transaction equals lucid. Now, when you do this part, it automatically picks up the UTXO. So this, no, this entirely comes in the it's burnt up entirely, and when you have the output, you have an entirely different UTXO. Okay, so this is completely burnt, and you have an entire UTXO, and you will also have other UTXOs. Other UTXOs. But the good way to check is all these UTXOs, oh sorry, all these UTXOs will have the same transaction hash. Only though no index, that is see, this is let's say index 1 or index 0, and this is index 1. So you'll have to have the same transaction hash, but the index is the only deciding factor that is different. Going back to this code, you see you have you have a previous UTXO with some other amount that got burnt, and new UTXO with this transaction hash with index 1 was created, and also there was some other output with the same transaction hash but a different index.
Okay. No, that explains it.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem. Thanks for your question.
Awesome. If you follow the link she pasted here, that link, anastasia-labs.github.io/lucid-evolution, because she pasted it in such a way that you can follow step by step. And then on the documentation, which is a very beautiful documentation on that page, when you get to the GitHub, you will see when you go start, you go next, you are going to see code explained step by step on this one here. Right. Thank you very much. Kelly, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a quick question. So I was trying to run the code. I don't know if it's me. I noticed, like, does it accept the common JS format for imports? Because I tried to do the require and it kind of had issues. Or what are your thoughts?
I didn't understand your question. Can you come back? Sorry.
Okay, so like if you scroll on your ID at the very top, right?
Yeah.
On the
Okay.
code itself.
Here. This book.
At the top, at the very top, where you're importing, yeah, right? So
Yeah.
in your case, you're using the ES6 format for importing the modules, right? Line 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Right? But I tried to do the the other format of const lucid equals require. You're familiar with that format? The common JS format for importing
Uh,
modules.
I get
I
that.
haven't tried it so
Okay.
far, so I couldn't, imagine what you're trying to say, but I'm just thinking how I can help. Okay, so you're trying to import like a common JS module, right?
Yes, I was using the other format of where you just say require, but I noticed like it has issues. So it's like it has to be import. You can only use import in this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't tried it, but if you're having troubles with that format, did you try checking in, changing your module to common JS in the TS config file?
No, not yet. I probably, maybe that's part of the reason. I was just rushing through so that
Yeah.
I keep up with you, but
Okay.
I was trying to keep up with you, so
Uh,
maybe I missed a few things. Yeah.
sure. I think that would help because
Mm.
what, in the TS config file that when you initialize it, sometimes the module you give will be a mismatch with what you're trying to do. So
Mm.
yeah, feel free to reach out, but yeah, just give a try with that.
So I'll try and configure my TS config and see if it works. Thanks.
Sure. No problem. Thank you.
So
So the txconfig.json will target, is it the JavaScript version or module? If you go and check there, we have got some configuration for it to use this one, which is the most common used for the TypeScript import. I know maybe when we are using these other ones, we are trying to be backward compatible, but we can give it a try. Yeah. From my side, I think this was a very beautiful, well-paced introduction to Lucid Evolution from Anastasia Lab. You visit their website, they've got more nice things than you see here. Like there is something you can try out. She logged for header to a script. Using that same code and read the documentation for the Lucid API. Can tweak very few lines and then unlock using that same script. I think for me, it was a very good, well-paced introduction to the off-chain part. Yeah, thank you very much. Anyone with a question? Thumbs up if you were able to follow. What other needs do you have? Thumbs up. Let us firework. I think Sukana very well. I
Thank
like it.
you.
Wonderful.
I think Dylan has his hand up, or
Oh no, no.
Yes,
No.
thumbs up. Yeah,
The thumbs up.
okay, okay.
thank you so much.
But yeah, sorry, Kelly, did you ask something? You've sent code. You have any questions?
no, I'm good. I'm good. Just a
Okay,
comment there on chat. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Feel free to reach out. No issues.
Sure.
Okay, then I think we are good for today. Then
Yeah, thanks a lot.
thank you, everyone. It was a wonderful
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you.
so
All right.
much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
See you in
Thank
2
you.
weeks. Bye. I forgot to enable this transcribing. Did you do it, Prasad?
What?
I forgot to record the call. Tex asked us to record, right? Did you do that?
Yeah, it's a recording. It
Okay,
is still recording.
good.
It introduced a lot of these people to Lucid Evolution, which is an
Mm.
off-chain easy part.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
That's
Just
true.
call Lucid, instantiate, create a
Mm.
wallet, and create your validator. Then you create your transaction, pay, attach, complete, sign, submit.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay. Hope it was good. Okay.
Yeah, let's call it a day for today.
Yeah.
And the rest a bit Easter towards Easter this side. Once more, thank you
Sure.
very much.
Okay. Yeah. We'll put did you message in our group, in our internal chat, saying that we are doing this today? Or take any screenshot?
I can submit. There was the turnout
Oh,
was okay. I was able with the turnout.
okay.
Yes, I can
Oh,
add.
you have already sent in the co-oxygen group.
I normally post a lot of this on our.
He'll send in our group also.
Yeah, let me send it there. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Bernard. See you then.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.